It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. White in the building.
Yo, it's you that we should be hailing because you were not here yesterday.
Yes, I went to see Buhari, but unfortunately, I got stuck in traffic.
So you didn't even make it there?
I got as far as, like, when we went I got to Awolowo area, and it was just great. Like, just closed it.
Look.
Just found it. I said, Uncle, please, can we go back to our house now? I just turned back around, to kind of do other things. But hey, but I'm happy that at least they decommissioned J.K. Randall Yoruba Center and Culture. I mean, I think it's a beautiful building. And also the rail line, I'm really happy, excited about that. So hopefully now we can start using the rail very soon, once they finish the tests for the next few months. Because she can start having access. How are you doing? Nima is not here yet. We're waiting for her.
Yes, she's in traffic, poor thing.
She was stuck traffic, and then she has some issues, but she should be here very soon.
She says, when I last spoke to her, she was in Anthony, so
yes,
hopefully
so
she'll
be
be
here
here in the
very
next
soon.
10 minutes. I'm missing her already.
How you doing? What happened to your shoes this morning?
Hey, I was just coming out of the car. The thing just caught. I said, hey, wahala. But Aki was the doll, and he ran, and got them back.
Has it been a long time you use those shoes?
Yes.
Yeah, so it happens.
Because you don't wear them often, then the humidity, well.
Like this, you're still rocking it.
Okay, you had another banter. What happened?
Say my CBN matter.
Yes.
Hey, it's me. I
Don't worry, there's time for that. We'll take it to the papers.
Okay.
How are you doing, Sokwe? We're wearing blue today.
Yeah.
Same color. Isn't that interesting?
I'm good. So, yesterday I wanted to do this banter because I was hosting. I couldn't banter because there was gist everywhere. Whenever we inaugurate things within the Ekpe area, all real estate people will just go haywire. Like, that's our marketing material. So it wasn't yesterday, it was on Monday that the president opened the seaport. Okay, the seaport. The seaport is the one that is very important to me. I think Nima will be concerned about rice. I think the rice affects everybody in terms of we should have more available. We're hoping for consistency in the information, but the seaport, and it'll be cheaper. But the seaport is a big deal because the seaport is a project that has happened for over 10 years, and it will be similar to other things that the government has spoken about. That we're going to do the 4th mainland bridge. It will take a number of years, but you would. Another probably will finish it. You will see it. This was one of those projects, and for those that were wise enough to buy real estate in Ibejuleki that time, they are profiting bigger now. So. Jump into Ekpe. Talk to us.
Oh, goodness.
What we need to make sure is that there's no traffic on that axis. Because getting to
Lagos is a metropolis. You're not meant to go from Lagos to Ekpe. I don't go to the island every day. Because I stay on the mainland, my activities are within the mainland. Those that stay on the island, the activities are within the island. Those that stay in Ekpe, the activities will be between Ekpe and Ibejuleki. So that's and they are opening up that circle. So you can live in Ekpe, do business in Ibejuleki, or live in Ibejuleki, do business in Ibejuleki. That area is going to be another community.
Yes, but the way it's supposed to be is, look, if there is no traffic, or if the rail line is working properly, I can live in Abeokuta and work in Lagos.
Yeah, true.
That started happening with Korede because we now have a train that comes into morning and evening for now. So gradually, and we'll get there.
That's what I'm saying.
And baby steps, we're getting there.
I mean, people not everybody that lives in London lives in
baby steps. We're getting there. At least they opened up Ibadan to Lagos. Now people are living in Ibadan. They're not working in Lagos. So this is baby steps. We'll get there. But please, go and pick up your PVC.
Yes, I picked up mine.
By January 31st, that's the deadline. Go and pick up. It's not as hard as people are saying. The people on social media make it look as if it's social. Yes, some people can be very cumbersome, but please go and pick up the PVC.
I checked 3 places. I went to Ogudu first because I didn't know where I was going to go to. I went to Ikosi, and people were just walking in and picking it up. And then I finally picked up at Magodo.
And there are a lot of volunteers helping to make it seamless and easier. So if you want to volunteer also, go there early, tell the INEC official you're just a citizen you want to support. They'll help you, they'll tell you where you can help me with lining or counting the numbers or something, just to help. But the idea is that let us make it seamless so that people are encouraged to go and pick up your PVC. Please pick up your PVC and make sure you vote. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're going to start with The Nation. Senators, reps draw battle line with CBN over Naira notes. Wike won't campaign for Atiku. Legislature, judiciary autonomy bills ready for Buhari's assent. Retire if you are due, PSC orders DIGs and AIGs. Abia to enjoy export hub status, says Tinubu. Tribunal fixes Friday for verdict on Oyetola versus Adeleke. And how Amosu increased Ogun IGR. All right, which story are we taking? Okay.
So the Police Service Commission has given an instruction based on the law. The statement came from the fact that he said some people that are meant to retire are meant to retire now out of the service are asking for extensions. So the Police Service Commission has said that it is institutional, there is an institutional succession plan within the Nigerian police force, and there are enough people to fill in the positions that the Commission has taken a decision not to extend the tenures of retiring senior police officers, stressing that even if they decide to they want to accept the extension, it is illegal because the Police Service Act and the Constitution of the Federation makes it illegal to do so, and that there are enough people that can fill in that gap. A lot of ASP from the Police Academy every year, 10,000 constables are being recruited every year, and it is important that once you hit the age of 60 or you've served for 35-year period, you should follow the rigid rule of mandatory retirement, and that's to everyone who is a DIG, AIG, and police commissioner.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking about this matter is the IG is supposed to retire because he has reached, in March he will reach his own. But they are saying the president has given him an extension.
Yes.
Now that is what is causing, I'm sure.
Other people are now asking for
yeah,
extension.
because if you can give...
no, that is a discretion
is,
of the president.
Yes, the IG is appointed now.
You're not entitled to it.
Yes, the IG is appointed.
Yes.
But the other people are promoted.
Yes,
so by virtue of that, they would have to go
but
exit.
It's still, he has served, the last one, once he's 60, he's reached the age of 60 and he's 35 years, he left now.
Honestly, I feel bad that the president gave extension because he would also set precedents. And
well, they even need the extension now because of this, the elections. At least let the elections pass. Like, we need consistency so far. So I can understand why there's a need for a bit of extension. But let's take another story. I was going to take the, let me see, I think it was the Ashwaju story. He was in Imo State. Was it Imo State? Yes, he was in Umuahia, escorted by Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, for a rally where he unveiled his industrialization plan for Abia State. He was saying, that this is the state of the center of production and his center of production and industry. According to him, he said that Abia market is one of the largest in Africa, in West Africa, and he sees becoming the major exporter of all types of manufactured goods to Asia, North America, South America, and Europe. He sees this state as a humming industrial activity such that it will become a world-famous center for activity from the manufacturing of clothes to cars, appliances, computers, and other components. So he's promising the people in the Southeast that definitely he will support them to become a production viable state. You have a story in Nation?
Well, I'm taking the other story, but I can also take the CBN and the Senate. Yes. The controversy, the Senate are asking for an extension. They are saying, you know, a lot of people in their constituents cannot get their money in time, and they are not even seeing the new notes. So they're asking for an extension, but the Emefiele has said so it's not budging.
Also in the paper, the fact is the CBN is independent. They have the right to create monetary policies, and so the Senate or the House of Assembly cannot compel the CBN to change their decision. And the CBN said they've given 90 days. That should have gotten everybody to drop their notes.
If I said 90 days, then it says no, it's 100 that he has given. So
people have got, according to him,
he hasn't provided the notes.
He is saying, listen, he's saying our mint is producing and we are supplying the banks. We have super agents on underserved areas like riverine communities. But that's you're saying it, but it's not translating. It's not what we are seeing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he also said that he has told banks to close later and operate on weekends. But we're not seeing banks saying that we are opening for longer hours.
Who's going to work on
no bank has sent me any text to say Oh,
we can come and...
You can come at any time. That's
let me take an extension of that story in Punch, because I was going to give Governor Emefiele some updates just in case he thinks everybody has. Let me just move on quickly to the Punch. New Naira deadline: Kano, Ondo, and Anambra depositors flood banks with old notes. Labour knocks governors as states reject local government autonomy. Islamic teacher bags life jail for defiling 8-year-old pupil. No, 8 pupils, actually. WHO worries over fresh 170,000 COVID-19 cases and deaths. FG raises 14-man panel to end fuel scarcity. Lagos projects 7.5 million train passengers monthly. Interest rate hike, job losses, crisis looms, warns OPS, and traders lament as Okowa shuts markets for Atiku. Okay, so going to the story of the Naira notes again. So we have reports, according to Punch, from Kano State. According to the customers there, besieged various commercial banks in the city of Kano on Zoo Road branch specifically. And he said there was absolutely no new notes. Also in Sokoto, people traveled far from their villages to come closer to the city to go to the banks to exchange all their old notes. And there were no new notes for their disbursement. Same thing happened in Osun, Ondo, Borno, Anambra State, where Punch reporters went there to observe. Even the ATM machines were not dispensing cash. And even one of our producers or the directors confirmed this morning that all the ATM cash she went to this morning, they're not dispensing. They said out of service. They ask you to come into the bank. When you get into the bank, they will offer you old notes. Obviously, they do not have the new notes.
You can't.
So
I sent personally my secretary this morning. Oh yeah, go to. And she went to how many banks? I read them out to you. I won't.
Please mention it.
Let me make. Okay. She went
so that we know.
She went to Polaris, Stanbic, GTB, Zenith, Fidelity, Access, FCMB, First Bank, and UBA. I mean, that's like 9 banks.
9 banks, 9.
And
they're not dispensing cash.
No cash in the ATMs, and they said they have old notes if she wants inside.
Governor Emefiele, I hope with this small medium of hours, we want to convince you and not confuse you that there are no new notes in the banks.
So please, flood if you want. We are not saying it shouldn't be sacrosanct. Flood the market, because are you telling me I will go to the vendor to go and buy newspaper now? And I will tell the vendor I want to do transfer.
That's what we want us to
where is your POS?
That's what he wants us to move to. We're changing culture, but you cannot change culture in 90 days.
It's not drastic. It has to be.
In 90 days?
It doesn't happen. Let's take another story in Punch.
Yeah, the Islamic teacher, they gave him life for, he defiled 8 students. They said he was using his index finger. Ew. And Justice Sholadoye had said that she believes the witnesses, that they convinced her that she doesn't, and for that she's registering him as a sex offender, and that he's a disgrace to the religion, and that the government should now go to schools and all these places to make sure that they are monitoring the school, that people should watch them.
The school head teachers, that's their job, the teachers. How many can government do? These teachers who may be monitoring the students. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Yes,
So I'm taking a story about Delta State, where traders lamented, they were lamenting that the markets were shut down. They said that the governor of the state was unfair to market traders in Asaba, because while he did not shut down the government, he didn't declare the day a public holiday. He stopped them from being able to trade and make money, which is their own source of livelihood. So the market was shut on Tuesday simply because of the campaign that, and it is unfair to the citizens to do that. But during the campaign, Atiku, who was able to speak, did not, of course, that was a different issue. He mentioned the fact that they wanted Delta State to show up, you know, for PDP as they always have, that Delta has never disappointed PDP since 1999, and they're expecting that everybody will show up to support PDP in Delta State.
Okay, let's move on now to Daily Sun. National Assembly CBN clash over the old Naira notes deadline. We talked about that earlier. I'll end youth in frustration, restore hope, Tinubu pledges. FG stops refined sugar importation. No extension for police officers due for retirement, says PSC. Elections, parents appeal for 2 weeks break for students to vote. Asaba stands for Article, ex-VP restates commitment to restructuring and unity. Okay, which story are we standing by? I have the story from the National Parent Teacher Association, that's the NAPTAN. Yesterday, they were saying, asking the federal government, who had complained about 3.5 million students may be disenfranchised as a result of the elections in February 25th. And they're asking that the government should allow a 2 weeks break to allow students to vote. And I'm thinking, 2 weeks break? I mean, like, we like holiday in this country. But that's what the NAPTAN is saying. The National Association of Nigerian Students also sought out 2 week break for students to travel to their various homes or destinations where they are registered to vote and during the elections. I can understand that because many of them are out of town and they're hoping that they can go back home to vote. But I'm not sure 2 weeks is...
No, but the former president of the National Association, Nance,
yes,
said that 2 days was enough for students likely to be affected, you know, that they should just come back and vote.
Exactly.
Outside their campuses and come back to vote. 1 week is too much, and I don't support that. I believe that no student leader will support that too.
Exactly.
Transportation is also expensive, though, because when you say you should go and come back, the cost of going and come back.
You still go and come back in
twice.
2 weeks. You still go and you still come back. It's not
And they go back twice for presidential election and gubernatorial election.
That's March. Presidential is in February 25th.
So just give them 2 days. Let me take the story about the sugar. So the federal government has stopped the importation of refined sugar. It is part of there's a plan, the Nigerian Sugar Master Plan, which is a 10-year plan. The goal of the plan is to boost the Nigerian GDP by 500 billion naira. And the government has provided 300,000 hectares of irrigated farmland. For me, this is a big deal. And they said that over the period, this is the second phase of that 10-year plan. The Executive Secretary of the National Sugar Development Council, Mr. Zach Adedeji, said he was really excited about this and that they expect this to boost the country's power production because ethanol is created from can be created from sugar, and it can create jobs directly and indirectly. So the states, there are 9 states covered in this 300,000 hectares of irrigated farmland: Nasarawa, Kwara, Adamawa, Oyo, Niger, Taraba, Ondo, Sokoto, and Bauchi. And we're expecting that anybody that is in this line of business would plug in into this opportunity.
Okay, okay, let's move on now to... We're taking a story here.
Yes, you did. The election...
The students.
Election,
okay, let me move on
2
now
weeks break.
to Vanguard. National Assembly, CBN battle for old Naira notes deadline. Constitution review, National Assembly bows to governors as state assemblies reject local government autonomy. Restriction of Okada, Keke Napep, court dismisses suit against Lagos state government. CBN raises monetary policy rate to 17.5%. And travelers entering Nigeria must present COVID-19 vaccination certificate, says federal government. Okay.
So we missed the story about the travelers coming into Nigeria, and because there's a resurgence of COVID-19 in a few countries around the world, the federal government and the Presidential Steering Committee, PSC, has decided that for any traveler coming into Nigeria now, they need to show proof that they've been vaccinated at the airport. But I think we might need to do a bit more than that, because we also know that you can still be a carrier even if you have been vaccinated. So maybe the awareness for increased vaccination.
They're even saying that they want to be vaccinating you at the airports. They put that in the
story as well. So if you haven't
actually.
been vaccinated, you get vaccinated at the airport. That's
I'm
also...
wondering, do they have that kind of money? Do you know how many people come into Nigeria daily? And, you know, most of the world, it was China that most of the world faced, because it's China that are the ones with the... Oh, now we are now saying everybody. Anyway.
Okay.
Let me take another story. Oh, you have it there.
I was just going to check that the Lagos State Federal High Court has dismissed the suit by Julius Ajibulu. He was asking them to ask the government to reverse the ban, and the judge said that the applicant had failed.
Yes.
Ban on Okada.
And Okada and
tricycles.
Yeah. They had failed to establish that the Lagos State government has no powers to ban operations of tricycles and motorcycles in respect of the designated roads in the state.
And they had been in court since 2018, so at least...
All right, so I'm quite interested in the constitutional review. So according to the National Assembly clerk has directed, the National Assembly has directed the clerk, Sani Tambuwal, to urgently transmit the 35 bills that have far met the constitutional requirements when of Section 9, Subsection 2 of the Constitution for presidential assent. Now, if you recall, they had sent about 44 amendments to the states to review, but they only sent back 35. Of the ones that they've not touched is the one on local government autonomy. 27 states have 27 or 36 states on local have said they expressed their own concern for the local government autonomy, and governors particularly rejected. Most governors rejected the local government autonomy, meaning that there's a strong possibility that if the president assents to this bill, the quest to get that autonomy would have been killed completely, because the governors at the various House of Assemblies have rejected. Many of them do not want that autonomy for the local government. This is something that is worth discussing. They've gone around, they've done the town hall meetings, they've also gone around to the House of Assemblies across the states, and 9 of the states actually abstained from even touching the bill at all. So this in itself is not, there are different angles to this conversation, and it's something that's worth looking at again. But let's see what the president would do if he would append his signature to it. And if he doesn't, I guess we have to go back to another review and to see how he can do to get the assent. Okay, we have to wrap up. How many minutes do we have? Just a minute. Let's take Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story. We have not taken 1.5 million polling agents for elections, says INEC. Ogun PDP Governor Supreme Court dismisses Jimmy Lawal's appeal. Others. Oshun Adeleke Oyetola to note their fate January 27th. Constitutional review, Senate bows to governors on refusal of local government autonomy. And Buhari sets up 14-man committee to ease petrol scarcity.
So that's the story. The president has set up a 14-man steering committee to deal with petrol scarcity with the goal of reducing the challenge. The committee is being chaired by the Minister for State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva. In the committee, there are members, other members of the committee includes the Minister for Budget and Financial Planning. It includes advisors to the President on Economy, the DG of the DSS, the Controller General of Nigerian Customs, Chairman of EFCC, and the Commandant General of the NSCDC, including other people, make the 14-man steering committee. And the goal of these people is to see whatever they can do to ensure that there is proper supply of AGO, DPK, and LPG, according to, and PMS, all other petroleum products. And we're looking forward to it not just being a committee, but actually let's see the committee effective in reducing the stress of getting fuel in Nigeria right now.
So I just want to say that a committee, again, is a group of individuals who singularly can do nothing, but come together to agree that nothing can be done.
Okay, let us go on a break. When we come back, Nima should join us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So today, this morning, we're discussing parenting. And this is a topic we've always discussed in different forms. But there was a story that caught our attention that happened in Cameroon. So Cameroonian police have reportedly arrested an unidentified woman whose child died after she allegedly gave the baby Tramadol and went clubbing. If you recall, Tramadol is banned in Nigeria, and we always get trailers and trailers of Tramadols arrested by customs. So she went clubbing. The Instagram user shared the story with pictures of the lady and the dead baby. Said the mother gave the child the drug so the baby could sleep while she went out to party with friends. This has generated lots of controversy as how people are negligent with their children and how negligence has arisen in recent times. My issue is not the fact that she went clubbing, because people go out to have fun and enjoy themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's some decisions we make for fun as a parent that we need to review and discuss, because this can happen anywhere. This could happen to us. This could happen to everybody with a well-intentioned situation. But Tramadol itself is an illegal drug. I don't know if it's illegal in Cameroon, but we as parents must also pay attention to what we do and why we do things. Please call us. You can call us on 0812-7053-687, 091-3907-6948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. As I said, when we read stories like this, it's not so much about dissecting the story. It's more about what are the lessons we're learning, because in this case, it's Tramadol. Well, it could be that you abandon your teacher, you leave your child for a lesson teacher. You go out for Islamic studies, or you go out for a prayer meeting, or you leave the child because you want time to hang out, or you want time to do stuff. You leave the child with an uncle next door that plays our bread. These are silly decisions we still do today that still harms our children. In this case, it was Tramadol. It could have been anything else. So let's discuss parenting and use this opportunity to remind ourselves again on how we need to make decisions concerning our children. Nima, want to start?
Let me leave intentional parenting to and the coaches. But I saw the picture of the girl, and it was a child having a child, clearly.
Yes.
So irresponsible decisions would come up. For somebody to be having children, there should be an age around it. I don't want to be too careless to say it should be regulated when people should start to have children. But it's almost, when I read the story, it was almost like as if, who even allowed this one to have a child in the first place? That was the first thought that came to my mind. I see situations where sometimes I see mothers holding their kids, the way they even do not worry, they care, even to do basic hygiene around the child. You see that you're constantly teaching the young girl, telling her, do this, do that. You now understand why our parents used to do the omugo, because in those days, as a young girl, you were allowed to get married and have kids early. These days, in our own generation, where you're mature, you've gone to school, you've done everything, when you have your child, you know better. You even know basic, only exclusive breastfeeding, where the mother thinks the child is underweight and all of that. You know how to probe things. But if you see this girl, and the circumstances, the picture of the environment where the kid was buried, where the locals were discussing what had happened, it was a clear case of young child.
Could it have been a girl that had a child out of wedlock that, maybe the community, so she was raped,
which is why the
baby,
irresponsible...
and she's doesn't really care about the child, really.
This is why the irresponsible act of, let me just drug the child. Some people do it with cough syrup. So the child is nagging, is throwing tantrums, is disturbing the mother, and she's looking, I cannot come and kid myself. I know some people, they'll just let me give him cough syrup. That's self-medication, not doctors prescribed. You just give the child so he can sleep off. Some people, just the teething period of a child, they can't have that patience. They start to give the child so many, the child is constantly on ORT because the child is purging due to all the concussions that they are giving. I made the mistake when my first daughter was always teething. I used to think all those prescribed medicine was for the child. But I met the pediatrician and said, we just used to prescribe these things for the mothers, not for the child. Teething is a natural process the child must go through. That the least that they can give is painkillers. It's not for you, but you can't stand the child, so they'll give you... And you see people now abusing the sorts of relief medicine that they give them. The child will be purging. They are unhygienic around the child. When I was taught the basics, my children, they would teeth till they grow the teeth. Nothing used to happen to them again.
I didn't use anything.
Nothing used to happen to them. So just a bit of information and responsibility. I would make sure I'm around the child, do what I need to do. And
okay, let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah, before we go, I want to just say that there's this misinformation about Tramadol. It's a painkiller. It's not a sleeping drug. It is a painkiller.
I thought it was a cough
for
syrup.
Adults. No, it's a painkiller.
To numb the person out of
and it's prescribed when they're giving you ordinary painkillers and it's not working. Then maybe you have, maybe the person has cancer or something. Then they will now
just had a cesarean session.
Interestingly, when I had my accident in the US, I lost 6 inches of my right thigh, and after the surgery, and I was doing my physical therapy, the doctor said, "Listen, Mariah, I would like to give you a drug because the pain was terrible." And I said, treacherous pain. He said, "Listen, you're young, and I want you to live with the pain because eventually you'd get used to it. If I start giving you drugs now, you continue to ask for more drugs as you grow older, and then your body you start looking for more drugs and something more stronger and stronger as you go older. But because you are young, manage it. If you're in pain, just sleep." He was telling me what to do. And today, the pain is like normal to me. Is it like if you go through the kind of pain I go through when the weather is changing and when my body aches, it's different because I'm used to that pain. So it's not all the time we must use painkillers for pain all the time. But let me come to you. What are your thoughts on this? Because this goes back to parenting. I don't want us to focus on only this Tramadol matter because many of us do it in different ways.
We discussed it around parenting yesterday as well, and we spoke about reassessing our priorities per time. So I'll look at it from that angle. Some parents would be like, "Oh, I've not slept, and let me give this my baby's cough syrup so I can sleep." Or this child is just crying, let me give this child cough syrup so I can sleep. Or they'll give the child Piriton so they can sleep. People, well, in our side, Tramadol is pretty far. Tramadol is like an abused drug. What most people around that I know of, people even complain in nannies, that some nannies, some maids, they give Piriton, they give cough syrup to children. And it's a case of reassessing your priority. What is more important to you? Is it the health of your child or your ability to go and have fun?
Your rest is also important.
We must rely on one another. It's important. When we discard communal living in the world of modernization, being modern, we are losing a whole lot. If you want to go to party, if I want a weekend out with my husband, sometimes I'll just take my kids to my parents' place and I'll call BC, let my children come to your house because I know that if they are there, I will have time. I can relax. So last Saturday I had a busy day and I spoke to a friend, a school friend, and said, "Let me pick up my children from school." I know that they will stay with their friend in their friend's house, and you can also do that. The person can do that with me. So it's important that we create communities to support one another. No human being can on their own raise children well because life's challenges would happen and you will be frustrated.
Let me make it a bit simple, Talkway. Let's something as small as I want to sleep. Turn on the cartoon, watch. Now, you need that sleep, and that's the truth. We've all told, listen, guys, you have to rest. Now, our cartoons these days are not clean anymore. So, or you give them the phone to use. Take my phone. Use my phone, you go on YouTube and just do something, just to keep you busy. I just need 30 minutes of sleep. Now, there in YouTube, he's picking up stuff, then pop-up messages are coming in, he's clicking, and you have no idea that your child is getting information that he's not supposed to get it. So these are real life things because, as I said, this Tramadol and party is a bit far-fetched. But there are little things we do also that we have to do.
Exposing the children.
But with that little silly mistakes we do that expose children. I mean, I was telling you the other day that there's a rule in my house. We know times whenever the kids are on their phone, I tell my help, please always check. I don't care what you're doing. Always just walking unannounced. We check. Everybody knows. Check unannounced. What are they watching? At per time. And whenever you're in, don't go and put your laptop where you can see. Put it where we as we're walking, we can see. You know, those are little things, but it doesn't make it perfect. Because if kids want to do something, they will still do it somehow. So how can we help ourselves?
So one of the things that, my mothers taught me as I had my first child was learn the child's routine. There's no baby in the world that can run 24 hours without sleep. In fact, my daughter then used to go about 16 to 18 hours of sleep during the day. In between, if you calculate everything, they're only awake to suck and then they breastfeed and they sleep. And so they'll tell you to quickly, whatever you need to do, back the child, do it. Once the child is sleeping, sleep. And over over time, I've used that routine to adjust till they became toddlers and now they are restless and everywhere. So once I want to sleep, take your bicycles out, all gadgets taken. Go to the compound. There's an area you can leave them. Sometimes I'll just say, go to your mama's place, to Yolu's place, and they'll go there.
That's community.
That's community. So you must adjust with responsibility. You need your breaks. Yes, you do. But you must adjust with responsibility. It's not that you say, be going, anyhow, just waka, or you lock them up. The one that is worse is lock them up anywhere, whatever they do, without checking, or lock them up with anyhow kids. My daughter has a friend, she likes to go to her house, and it would be nice if they go there. I'll have break. But they have too many boys in the house. Because it's a house of training boys where they do trade. Please, you can't go there. And she will cry, no, we used to have fun there. Auntie, if I am not visiting, you cannot visit. We must go together, we are not going.
Yeah.
So, you must continue to responsibly parent a child.
Right.
There's no room for relaxing. If you don't want to have children, it's another matter.
Yeah.
But
okay,
if you have the gift of your parents around, that's a gift. You can always leave them.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll try to open our phone lines for people to join this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So this topic is quite important, especially because it affects us, a lot of people, in many different ways. This is, as I said, is about tramadol being given to a child to allow the child to sleep. But as I said, there's also different things we do to children just for our comfort. Much needed comfort, I would say sometimes. But I guess we have to also discuss how to be more careful in making our choices. Talk about, you're going to ask something.
So I want to talk about another thing that we don't think of, which is that people actually go through postnatal depression, and like in that space, some people feel like this child is taking away my life. It might just, well, she's a young person. Even with older people, they go through it. So imagine how a young person who is having a child would now feel like my life is gone. Every day I wake up, I'm responsible for this child, and I can't do anything fun. And there's no room to have conversations about it. Some people actually, in the developed country, they are always big on emotional support, getting emotional help, and a lot of people open up about wanting to kill their child. So imagine if people here actually start opening up about the fact that the thoughts cross their mind when they just feel like my life is over because I have a child. For some people, they just blend into motherhood. They have a child and it's like, this completes me. And for others, it's like, is my life over? And because as the society, mainly within African space, we don't acknowledge these things. We feel like women, if you're a woman, you should be a mother. It's like 5 and 6.
You know that
every
movie,
woman should want to be a mother.
That movie, The Ways, that recently just premiered.
Yeah.
Recently. You know, those kind of meetings that women have to share. It's something, it's a culture, they've adopted it abroad, but here it's hard for us to just sit down and go somewhere and start sharing your stories. But the truth is that the more you talk about it, it helps you to unburden the feelings and the emotions that you feel that weighs you down. So I think all these NGOs, as great as you do one big event, you put it on social media, we are doing this,
regular.
Let's have a consistent meetings of different groups. There are different groups, those that are having alcohol problems, those that are having raising children issues, those that are having postnatal depression. They're very groups. I'm not into those kind of stuff, but maybe these are things that we should start thinking about as NGOs to help them.
What would I call the communal one? Because I am blessed with a communal setup. So there's nothing that you are going through, except you are somebody that likes to keep it inside, that you will not find help. I remember that, I shared that I didn't adjust to motherhood easily, and I also had some postnatal health conditions. The moment I shared it, when I had my second child, they will constantly knock. You need help. Someone is going to the market, they will help you with something. Yeah. If you're having difficulty lactating, in fact, the pap, I've not finished drinking it. Because I expressed that I had issues lactating at the second week of Imran's birth. One of my
They were
neighbors took
supplying
it
you.
upon every evening, the kunu, I can't finish it. They're not born me rich. So there are certain groups like that, but because we are so educated now, we don't relate with people that you know ordinarily would empathize. Maybe you're in a group of people where everybody there are career people. Nobody has the time to check up on you whether you want to drink kunu or you are lactating. But if you have mothering issues and you express it with people who genuinely have the time, you would find that help.
Yes, Mikey.
Yeah, I was going to take some tubes. Ngumen Fiona says, my mother used Puritin on us. And then Adeoye Oladayo says, now so my niece, 16 years, gave her brother 1 year Bonabe drug overdose so that the baby no go sleep. Go sleep
so that
and stop disturbing. And me, my sister, drop her pikin. Just go market, come back, she don't drug the pikin. When I came back, notice the pikin where they always play and restless, just they do somehow. Before she open her mouth talk, I don't cry tire. They back the pikin. So what I think she's trying to say, because she's
These things happen.
the 16-year-old child gave her sister or a drug that
To
made
make
her
her sleep.
so it does happen. It's just that we need to, I think, try to be more responsible.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me take this call, then we'll wrap up on this. Good morning, Dr. Faith. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, and I called in because I'm a doctor and I've worked with children for a while. So, first thing I want to say is that people should show more empathy towards, because there are a lot of things that could have, moved her to do that. And one of them I suspect is postpartum depression, which is very common amongst developing nations. So it can be an undiagnosed postpartum depression that must have led her to do that. And then the absence of a community to help raise that child. Because the truth is no one person can raise a child, especially when it's a newborn. And that was from the papers that I read, that was her first child. So she needed a community to help her with it.
Right.
And if she did not have that, as she was going through postpartum depression, she needs help rather than criticism. That's my take.
Fantastic. I think we can wrap up on that because
The community beat her very well after she killed the child.
but that's not always the answer because, as you said, it's postpartum. It could be
Yes.
postpartum depression that needs
No,
real
But
medical
remember,
attention.
she went out.
Yeah, but it's still part
But
of
that's
trying
it's part
to.
of it. It might be a coping mechanism
Yes,
for the
for you.
emotional,
So there are different
for
things
for
that you need to
emotions.
go through the emotions.
No.
Some
She
people-
wasn't coping. She was.
We are not medical
No,
doctors here.
we are
We are saying that
not.
there's a
So people-
possibility
You
that
can't
she was
say
trying
that.
to
You
cope.
don't know people's
Tope,
minds.
I know women
no.
who drink with the baby in front of them, coping, drink. You hide the baby in the house so you can go have fun. You can go and have that fun responsibly, give the baby to anybody else. But
People
we
going
should not
through
be
emotional challenges.
that-
I don't tell them how they should go.
yeah.
through
I've seen
challenges.
somebody
And go
with
clubbing.
postpartum depression, and they are listless. They are not going to go and club.
Hey.
They are listless. They let themselves go.
They'll
When
tell
you
you
see
that
them,
mental issue is a spectrum.
Yes.
It depends on the person you meet.
man,
It could be on the left, it could be in the middle, it could
Let's
be
not
right.
excuse bad
Depending on
behavior.
where you are. So the point is, we don't know how people respond. People respond in different ways.
Let me
We
take-
don't have enough time to take callers to say, listen, they even went there. They didn't want to see the baby. Just take me out of here. I want to go somewhere else. So let me just let the baby keep quiet. You know,
can
there are
have
different
that
ways.
one. Yes, you can have that one.
So them say that there are different ways. We have to wrap up. Let's take a few comments and we wrap
Just
up.
one. Called from Clifford says, it is well. Parents, not women alone. Men need to do more in raising up a child, especially in this generation. They need to teach their kids how to deal with peer pressure and online presence, because what these kids are turning out to be, it is well.
That's a different conversation. All right, we have to wrap up with it. But let's, I think in a nutshell, community living is important. Let's also use a community. This is a young mother, and many of this, as she said, some young mothers go through this, and they need that community around to help and support them. Also, people have that medical situation of the postpartum depression. It's real. It happens to different people in different ways. So we can't really judge this situation, but we need to understand that we need to help each other, especially when you have a mother who is struggling with the emotional burden of
Say
this.
something.
Yes.
Those many mothers that are beating her, did they reach out to help?
Yes, exactly. So, all right, we have to wrap up on this. We have to just mention that because anytime we see stories like that, it's important for us to raise it and talk about it again, just to remind ourselves the importance of paying attention and helping each other. We're going to go on a break now. We'll come back, we'll discuss CBN policy. We'd like to hear you to call because we mentioned it in the paper review, but it would be better for you to call as Nigerians. Maybe Governor Emefiele will be watching this morning. Let him hear directly from you. So if you've experienced going to the bank and you saw new notes, please call in. If you experienced going to the bank and there were no new notes, please call in. Everybody has gone to the bank in the last 24 hours. Please call in when we come back after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So the CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, Governor Godwin Emefiele, has insisted, get to say the name very well, has insisted that there will be no deadline extension for old Naira notes, even when the National Assembly of Nigeria have asked CBN to extend the deadline. At some point later in the conversation, we'll be having Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the spokesman for the House of Representatives, to join the conversation. But first, we'd like to hear from Nigerians, your experiences. Please call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. YK shared her experience earlier that she sent somebody to the bank this morning. About 9 banks, all were not working. The ATMs were not working. I said earlier also that one of our directors also went to the banks this morning, and she confirmed to me that the machines were saying no service, not dispensing cash, out of service. But when she now got into the banking hall, they were dispensing old notes. Who's fooling who? Is the CBN fooling us, or is it the bank that's fooling us? Let us hear your thoughts on this. Call us and share your experience with us. We really need to know what your thoughts are. I'm told that Yakub has already called in to join the conversation.
Before we talk to Yakub,
yes.
Yakub, no vex, please. I just want to say what he said. He said our mint is producing and we are supplying the banks. We have super agents on served areas like the riverine communities and CBN staff. Members have been. We believe that by January 31, the new Naira notes would have permitted the nooks and crannies of the country. We believe that word. It's not that we know. There's a difference between believe and know.
Maybe
Sorry,
it could be a calculated belief. It could be
Let's talk about facts.
When you say you believe, you are not sure.
It's hope.
When you say I know,
okay.
Is that
I know that Moriah is wearing blue.
Yeah.
I believe that Moriah is wearing blue. They're two different things.
Okay, let me take Yakub. Come, Yakub, are you there? Thanks for calling us.
I'm there. Yeah.
Sorry, Yakub.
Good morning, Sister Anima, good morning, and then Mama Biji. The central bank governor remained only governor in this country that was not voted for because the position he held is not a position that Nigerian citizens express their feelings vote for him. Are you being a situation whereby we always vote for a central bank before he becomes a governor? I think a Emefiele will never become one. Let me tell you this, Morayo, go to any bank. They don't have this particular note that we are talking about. And let me shock you. They were telling us because of the people that buy the money at home and all that, that's why they bring this kind of the thing to us. Morayo, I can tell you for free, those ones that are keeping billions of naira, they have nothing for free. Ask me why. Why? Because some bank managers are already becoming a billionaire. You know why? Somebody that gets money, free money. This has almost 20 billion at home. One would take that person to ask the bank manager that come. I will give you 5 billion out of this money. But that this money, I don't know what it will be done. The people in this area, in my village, in your spiritual, although I am a Christian, in my village, this village, another people, this animal village, those women that have those 1,000 naira that so dear with their mind, it's going to be 34th of this month. I like to go to know that money is useful. It's useless. What did those women will do? See, I think we have civil society organization that is working. They could have protested against this very particular thing. But
All right.
I
want to be sure I understand what Yakub is saying. Is he saying that there are people that have, like, the possibility that there are people that with billions in their house?
They can settle the bank managers and get their money in.
Get the new notes in.
Yes. Okay. So let me, that it's speculation. And there might be some truth to it, maybe based on experience. But one thing we know for a fact is we must believe that the CBN has good intentions. Yeah. And when you read through the policy, it is going to help us as a country. It will help us curb inflation. It will help us deal with excess liquidity, which are current problems that we are facing in our economy. So on paper, this is a good policy. However, it's a policy that is requiring Nigerians to change their lifestyle. It's requiring Nigerians to, is requiring, maybe I've always used my hand to eat amala all my life. Then you now come and say, over the next period of 90 days, you must use chopsticks to be eating amala. And everybody, your hand is no longer allowed, spoon is no longer allowed, everybody start using chopsticks. Why it is good for your body or something. And all of us now have to conform. And then there are some remote places where they don't have chopsticks. That's the way this is. It might be good for us, but you cannot change our character and our lifestyle within 90 days. Nigerians are used to spending cash. I am not used to spending cash. I am not feeling any issue in this policy. Yeah. I've not seen the new note, I've not spent it, and I'm not bothered because most of my transactions for years have been cashless. Yeah. And because of that, it's easy for me. But for another set of people, they've never done bank transactions. All they do is cash. So you are expecting them to change their life suddenly because you are making a policy. There's a WhatsApp group my husband is part of, and somebody said he went to go and visit his mom. And they gathered almost 2 million naira. All those grandmas that your uncle will come and your brother, your son will give you money. Son will give 50,000. So, and the mama has kept it inside the house in different corners. They were now searching, Mama, did you put money under the bed? And were able to find as much as 2 million that the woman has kept for years. There are people like that, they are already maybe blind old people that they've given money, they've kept it in a corner, and the money is now paper, useless.
Let me take this call from Ade. Ade, good morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I want to use this opportunity to appeal to our central bank governor to consider people in diaspora. One of my friends is having 500,000 naira. Brand new. You see, he's telling me what he's going to do with it. He's going to burn it. So, think of others in UK, in America, everywhere. We'll be close to about 2-3 billion naira. You should tell us whether to take the money to our embassy, and they can take it from us. And they create our account, but he did a press conference yesterday. He didn't even talk about diaspora at all. Because the man, since he lost the presidential whatever, he has lost everything. We should not worry. We'll vote for him in 2027. He should help us in diaspora.
Okay.
We have to take our
I think that's feedback. So
thank you.
Thank you. So we're having a conversation here, and we're not trying to, we're trying to understand the policy and see how we can make it better. So based on what you said, that's feedback from diaspora. That's important. Doctor mentioned something very important also. People, my mothers, Mama Brown too. I mean, Mama the other day was bringing that money. She said, Mama, by next week, this in his paper, I'll go and bring all your money. Because Mama has money, but she acts as if she doesn't have money. She now sit there doing the Elizabeth's hair. Maybe she wants to go and pay for the hair. But I've told her, go and gather everything. Let's go to the bank. So yeah, you're right. There are people like that we need to really get them to go to the banks. Nima, your experience.
Okay, so I think the Nigerians are misunderstanding the central bank governor. What he wants to do is mop up cash. He's not swapping our cash. So most Nigerians have monies at home. The banks will take your deposits, but when you want the value of the money back in the new note, you can't have it. There's a limit to what you can now get. So the ATMs are dispensing limited 20,000 naira, and they're not even supposed to dispense that 1,000 naira note. The one we saw that was dispensing 1,000 is on the island, in the head office of a popular bank. They were not, the instruction is that they will start to dispense from 200 naira notes downwards to give at least 20,000 naira max from ATM per withdrawals. They said that they're taking away the charges for 20,000 naira withdrawal that was on the ATM, so we can get as much as we want. But how much will you stand per ATM to take when there's a queue behind?
Long queue. The
queues at Abule Ado yesterday was somebody was even crying that what nonsense is this? To deposit the cash that he has, to swap it to go and do business. No, that's not what they allow.
So they don't want you doing business with cash anymore.
Cash
they want you doing SIM.
And they are not informing. In fact, CBN should be in trade fair. So people don't run mad. CBN should, be using the banks in trade and be raising their awareness, go around the market, talk to people who do daily cash transactions of over 2 million are in that market.
That's why I said,
and you are
CBN
stressing them. You don't make them
change.
Understand. Yes.
It's a culture change.
They're doing a culture change. You don't make them understand this policy enough to bring them inclusively into
it. They have a deadline. And deadline because...
Now, deadline they tell people. So they're giving people heart attack.
Deadline because they're also trying to curb this kidnapping and those who... the money...
Have they kidnapped people, please, in the last 1 week? I didn't say 1 month, 1 week.
They are trying to get...
They kidnapped and demanded money from people.
All those kidnappers that have money
even though
in the forest.
There's this law.
No, we have not done any known one that we know.
Yeah, that we don't, that is on the papers, yes.
Because they kidnap people constantly.
Exactly.
On
the
roads.
Not everything gets...
What are you talking about?
No, YK.
There was kidnapping in the papers yesterday.
There are those that don't make it to the papers.
I know, but the ones that were in the paper, it was in the papers yesterday of people that they kidnapped.
So the point...
They beheaded somebody.
Yes.
2 days ago.
Even after collecting 6 million.
Even after ransom was paid.
Yes.
Okay, let me take this call.
Now, I was listening to the radio today. There's a particular governor's wife, I can't remember which one, was flaunting her new money. They are getting the new money. We are not even saying, do your policy. It's okay. But let the money be available.
Period.
I saw somebody with a bundle at a party spraying 1,000 money.
You see them now?
Money that we don't
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
Morning, how are you?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Please, what I'm doing, the policy, just like we're discussing this morning, the policy is a good policy, but unfortunately in this country, this is a country whereby we look at education not to be anything, because just shortly ago, a session completely was closed in this country, in our universities. So our educational background is so poor, and this policy is mainly maybe to witch hunt themselves. But the people that are going to suffer more are the masses that are going to suffer. Somebody have 2 naira and cannot spend it. 1,000, 2,000, he cannot spend it because most of the what do you call them? The banks, you don't have access to the bank. You go to the ATM, there's no new money there. And then when you go to POS again, they are refusing. Some of them are refusing to collect the money now because they feel that the banks are chopped up, so they don't have access to drop that money. So this is a policy, I don't know. We have leaders in this country that don't actually listen to the masses. People are crying up and down, but nobody is listening to us.
All right.
Well,
let me go on a break. Thank you very much, Anso, for your contribution. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with our show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're back. So I'm going to take a call. Good morning, are you there? I thought I had a caller. So, recently I follow Muabudu, and she recently posted a video on her Instagram page where she was showing this new supermarket by Amazon. There's no cashier. You come in with the app. You scan the app and the entrance. You go in, pick whatever you want, and automatically your goods are charged to your Amazon account. Now, that's where the world is heading. So Nigeria is obviously far behind on that, but they're trying to take baby steps in what we can do to get people, to sensitize people on how to become cashless. Because all of us keep saying, oh, international community. Well, how do we help each other? Yes, there are a few facts. So, as we said earlier, we understand the need to go cashless. But the timing, the education, do we have enough? Have we totally sensitized those? Someone like Momo is unaware that the cash that she's carrying around by next week it will be worthless. We've tried to explain to her. So there are people like that too. They don't even know. My brother doesn't have an app. She doesn't have what they call it in the mobile app. She doesn't have it. She went till tomorrow. She still goes to the bank to go and collect money. 20,000 naira. She was at the counter to go and collect it. She doesn't understand the app thing. So how am I going to start getting her to go cashless at 74?
So I wanted to just say something because, you see, when you go abroad and you see a village abroad has all the amenities, has huge supermarkets, has houses, the roads are tarred, everything. Now, let's take that step into a Nigerian village. When you go, I'm not talking about the London of the East. I'm not talking of those kind of villages where the people build huge houses. No, I'm talking of, there was this village where one governor, they sent Governor's Child 21 went the other day. See, the road was untarred, there were no houses, there were mud huts. Is it that kind of village that bank will go and build village? No. So what are those people using?
Okay, the bank will go and build
branch. Sorry.
It's POS.
Let me take this call, Waike. I'll make this is an important point you're making. Good morning, are you there?
Good morning.
You're live. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Yes, you. Good morning. You girls are looking, ladies are actually looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Good morning. Yes. So my contribution to the News Naira is, the way I see it, Nigerians, because we are not used to it, we believe that things have to go to place we want it. In the various countries that we use and we use as examples, they have actually their descendants or whatever, their ancestors, their founding fathers went through a lot to get to where they are today. It was not like a child's play. So for us to be able to move forward, we have to make some sacrifices. Things do not have to go the way we want it. Also, they are saying that there's a point they are trying to make in trying to change the Naira. The banks want to have access to every fund in the economy, which will eventually pay off. It might not actually start working now, but at least it will work for generations to come. So we cite examples of countries that have developed and have their democracy for like 250 years, and we are just starting our own 20, 30 years ago. Do things work like that? Things like this is just boycott. They are not actually
it's not very clear. It's not very clear, but I think I have an idea. She's saying that we should be patient or something like that, that the governor is trying to do something good. So it's good to hear a citizen that even supports that government is trying to do something good. That's a good thing.
Nobody here is saying
it's not doing
something good. Nobody has said it here. What we are saying is, one, the timing.
Yeah.
You have given us 90 days. Okay, no problem. It's okay. 90 days is fine. But have you injected that cash
in the bank
into the system so that when I go to the anywhere, I will see new notes. You are not seeing.
So not on your part, but you're
I run a cash business where if you come and buy a drink, nobody is bringing new notes. Everybody is bringing old notes. So you know what? By Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will say, oh yeah, everybody. So everybody is going to say, oh yeah, hold your old note. Don't come.
How will your business thrive?
Your business cannot thrive. That's my point.
Well, your POS is it working? You can pay by POS.
You can't pay by POS. Use ATM. An ATM. So you know when you have to carry ATM is not working. You carry. Oh yeah, I'm looking for network. I'm looking for network. Everybody is looking for network now. Network is flying away.
That's not serious. So if we remove the excuse of bandits and crime and tracing, kidnapping money, let's talk about basic market. Enter Okari. Which mama want to be giving you POS to pay? Relax. Even in the market, relax. Even inside this trade fair article market, if you do transfer, you can spend the whole day there waiting for them to get alert. Yes, so.
No, that's not true. I went to the market.
I see that transfer.
Talk about Lagos Island. When the master closed. No. Don't talk about article. When I say it, when you argue to go, they pay me. You will be there for them to see their alerts. They have to carry their phone and go somewhere and come back. So if it is not seamless, we can't compare. Except we are trying to punish ourselves. If it is not a punitive measure, you must give room for people to adjust into it. In the minimum, do 6 months. This one that you are vexing to do it now. See if you know.
Let me take this call. Hold on. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, everybody.
You're live. Yeah. Mr. Hassan, go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with the CBN policy. There's something wrong because it was well enumerated before they started it. But the issue is this, is why now? I've been asking this question. And the CBN governor or anybody from the system has not been able to give me that answer. The CBN governor has been there for over 8 years. Why are you trying to be brave now? Why are you trying to be patriotic now? Exactly. Who are you trying to impress? It's a man that is even against us. Because the CBN governor, I was aware, he devalued Naira more than 2-3 times, which is against us as Nigerians. And secondly, there is this problem we are having of literacy in our rural areas and mistrust by our people. People can be literate and have mistrust in the banking system. These people in our rural areas, they don't believe in this app or whatsoever. So they believe in this, give me, I give you. How do you take care of that? They should go further and do that. And when they now told us about this issue of counterfeiting, counterfeiting is not a problem of me and you. It's a problem of the system to figure out the culprit and bring them to book. That is the function of FIU.
All right, thank you, Hassan. You see, when mobile phones came, people were really they were reluctant to accept this technology because they felt in the rural areas, how would they be able to send messages? How would they, change is hard. Change is difficult. There's no way you assume that everybody will accept it. But at some point in the next 5 years, this would be almost like a no-brainer because everybody will probably know how to somewhat transfer. But change is hard. But I don't want us to go to the part of why is it happening. It's the process of it happening should be better. I would like us to have passed why is it now? What is he trying to achieve? Who's trying to impress? It's not about that.
Why should you do it in 90 days and think that you are doing something good?
Yeah, so the issue is how it's being done. And the House of Assembly has asked him to extend. He's not listening.
You know, there's some people that don't believe that you should use your left hand to write. There's some. So when you have a child that has that uses left hand, you will see the parents beating the child. Oh yeah, use your right. Then you will see the child crying because he's struggling to use right because he or she is more comfortable with the left. That's what Oga is doing to us now. We are all using left hand. He say, all of you must use right hand. And we are all in pain. And we are crying.
But eventually, you get it done.
We're not saying we will not get it. We are saying, when you are forcing your child to use that brain, change their brain around, it's not an easy thing. And most times we say it's not right.
But let me take this call because I need to get more examples from our viewers so that Governor Emefiele might be listening to this morning, so hopefully you get feedback. Good morning, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live, Mr. Olagoke.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
He's listening to us.
Olagoke, please listen to us directly, don't the TV. The TV is delayed. It's 2022 for heaven's sake.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Olagoke.
Yes.
Morning.
Yeah.
I have to disconnect the call.
Please, let's talk about the fact that this is our GSM that we are all enjoying the ability to talk. When we go to our farm in Ogbomoso, the farmland, we will have to go where one tree is to get network. So it's not like we have even the GSM that we've had for years has gotten everywhere. Network for call, we're not talking network for internet. There's no internet at all. I'm talking Mayi in Ogbomoso. There's no internet in there. We now had to buy, there's one particular one massive phone like this that we bought because that one, you pull the antenna, you can make phone calls there. That's the reality of many areas in Nigeria. And you cannot make a policy in this, you cannot make a policy in isolation for the people without understanding how it's affecting them. One of the cameramen just whispered to me that we have issues of fake alerts, and we are not able to resolve the issue. Okay. When somebody sends fake alerts, resolving that issue is almost impossible. Yeah. If you do transaction mistakes, it takes a long time to resolve. Well, the infrastructure is not been perfected and we're trying to create a glossy picture because we are in Lagos. We cannot say, oh, because we're in Lagos, we have internet. But the issue is it's not the same everywhere.
Okay, let me advise
very sound, very sound.
Okay, let's just do only Lagos.
For now.
YK, even in this Lagos, my daughter's birthday, I wanted to quickly get her a gift because we're not throwing a party. So I went into the article market. The girl selling shoes does not have an account for me to pay money into. She takes only cash. Where is your nearest POS? I went to the POS to transfer money. I didn't have my ATM. I transferred the money to the lady. She gave me 3 banks. I kept doing the transfer over and kept failing. She kept saying, no, easy. We found out it was internet. I walk her to one place that was high. Inside this Lagos, I'm talking Lagos.
I know.
I'm more Odofi. I walk her to one place that was high, transfer money. It's now the issue of whether the alert will come. The 30 minutes I wanted to use in the bank eventually turned over.
Okay, so now let me use that example. A young girl that wants to start a business, do it the right way. You have an account. You're starting a business. Let's help children get a CAC number. You know, there's a process. You don't just start going. Because now, if something happens to your goods, I know I can't trace it because some girl from somewhere just gets 100,000 naira, buys products and starts selling. It doesn't work like that. We're trying to get everybody into the system. So government is saying you own a business. Are
you not
great?
creating a complexity?
What I'm saying is
but you say a young girl starting a business.
Yes.
The first thing she do, she see 100,000 naira is to buy market and sell it.
Yes.
They are saying to her, go and get a CAC number, get an account number.
Start
how much is 100,000? Oh, what is your owó tó fẹ́ fi dá lóko? We have already got it now.
Please, let me just give you one. Me, first generation bank. I'm still waiting for alert. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Today is Wednesday. Wow. I've not seen the alert, but anytime there is debit, I see it. Mom, the money never entered the account. I see it every day. No. Just look at now. Inside, how much?
Are you sure it was deposited?
POS. ATM. I mean, not the ATM, the POS
machine to pay for.
Because they say go cashless. So yes, I have confirmed.
The system is not.
But I've lost a lot of money because this one, when I will call that bank, it's a first generation bank, I will call the bank, the bank will say, you will wait.
They don't have
not with the market that they take buy markets. That's one. New generation bank, those ones will say, in fact, those ones, they just be sending text that this thing did not work. Debit of you did not debit.
YK, let me add to
they will say, somebody said their clinic card didn't work. Did you get value for your money? What are you telling me?
I was at this.
YK has vexed. Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? Okay, drink water, please.
You have not controlled your banks. You are coming to control the citizens.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
Can lead to change.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, Murayo.
You're alive. Let's increase the volume so I can hear her. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, Murayo. Good morning, beautiful.
You're live. Go ahead, Charity, please.
Good morning, beautiful lady. I'm Charity from Bagada.
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
I don't think they are very serious. I don't think they are serious because last week I met a lady at the ATM. I met this lady at the ATM. She went into the bank to deposit her old notes. She now came out to withdraw from the ATM, and this same ATM still said that the same old note that she went to deposit, the same old note that she entered into the banking hall to deposit, she came out to withdraw from the ATM. ATM brought her the same old note that she went to deposit. So I don't think this is serious. Right. I don't think.
Thank you, Charity. You know, it will be okay. Yes.
Example to you. So POS transactions that have failed. Ordinarily, the standard is that if it fails at a POS, your bank has the right to transfer the money back into your account within how many hours. You print the receipt. The person takes it to the bank. The bank will say the money have already hit the POS. Just because they don't want to put an incidence form. They will start sending customers back. Imagine somebody going back and forth to the bank in 3 months between the bank and the POS. And the POS operator cannot pay you for a transaction that has failed on their system. If they pay you, you go away. They can never recover that money. They don't have a right to your account. They're a payment solution. Bank staff, even the head of operation with his eyes clear, will be sending you back and forth. Simple thing like that you should incident it. And you know that money can only be paid back into the account of your customer, but you will send them message and stress them.
We've been trying to reach Mr. Osita. Mr. Let me call him out right now because we're trying to reach him. Mr. Osita Nwanibiosi. He's the Director of Corporate Communications at the Central Bank of Nigeria. We've reached out to him. He's giving us, posting us, I'm busy, I'm not available, I'm busy. we need to speak to CBN on this matter. We've tried to reach out to CBN because somebody needs to speak to us, to explain to us. Me, I have a personal question. Let me to vent, like vex, like why came to vex? I have this 15,000 naira mutilated notes. They are not collecting it. I'm angry. I'm vexed.
So what will you do with 15,000 naira?
So,
trash.
I'm vexing. CBN governor, please, I need to be angry. I'm very angry right now. I have 15,000 naira that is mutilated, and I need the banks to collect it. I am angry.
Acting role. She wants to be an actress.
She's on set.
Anyways, I have a call. Good morning. Good morning, my caller. Are you there? You're live.
Hello, good morning, Mariah, and the beautiful ladies in the studio. This issue is actually a good one, but the challenge is that we don't have infrastructure present. Exactly. I'm just at a place now. I wanted to make transfer to buy something. The woman was confused. She said she doesn't accept transfer. As I'm talking to you, she's laughing now. So,
is she in Nigeria?
It is not her fault. Yes, it is not her fault. It is not her fault. There are issues of delayed alert. If you may send money to somebody, it will take hours before it will come in. So they should put infrastructure in place, take it easy with us, bit by bit, all these things will be sorted out.
That's so true.
That's my simple take.
My driver went to the fuel station this morning. They didn't collect ATM. He said he should bring cash. I mean, I've disposed of all my cash. So no, I'm not looking for money for you to buy fuel. So it's a problem.
So
we gave him your ATM pin.
Yeah, no, I usually transfer money to him.
His own account.
But they said they're not collecting transfer.
Sorry, it took me. One day I sent one of my staff to go and get diesel. He got diesel, 75,000 that time. This is almost 75,000. We have passed that stage. Yeah. That time, the Kini left his account. The bank people said the petrol station didn't see the money. Yeah. I had to send him another 75,000. Hey. Imagine. It took him 6 months
to be able to
get that 75,000. 6 months with the bank, First Generation Bank again.
So obviously we have infrastructural problems, and a lot of our IT people are also jackpying. There's a massive relocation of IT people. In my own case, one of the biggest challenges we're having is we're not even doing POS. My business is heavy transaction, but we don't even get alerts. So you're having to call the bank to confirm alerts, and they was like, we have technical issues, we're having technical issues, and yet we have not even, we have not moved into this new phase. So the banks are losing staff that are their strength in the IT place. And even the government's policies that we rely on these IT people to be able to make it work. So on all fronts, this policy is bedeviled with challenges. It is important that the CBN governor doesn't just say, I've made up my mind, I'm not going to change my mind, this is the policy, everybody should find a way to do it. But leadership is about listening to the people and understanding the people. And people are complaining consistently. He shouldn't see it as an attack from the politicians, because when you read his response, he's seeing it as the politicians, this will affect politicians. He wants to protect our votes so that they don't buy votes and they don't have cash to buy it. That's on one side. But I'm saying to the CBN governor that ordinary Nigerians are also complaining.
I watch this. I watch series. For those of me, some of our governors, CBN governors, please watch some series. Take some time out to watch Netflix. A lot of these live movies that you watch, in this kind of situation, you have a major shift. You're about to do a major shift in banking, and that's going to affect people's lives. We need a weekly or a daily, every 2 days update. So far, we've released X amount of cash to the system. So far, by this day, we're going to have, there should be like a daily update, because there's a deadline by weekend, by 31st. So I'll expect that every single day, I'm hearing a briefing from the CBN office, giving Nigerians an update. Okay, so far, 60% of our banks now have the cash. Okay, we're not going to this community. We're going to be there very soon. Please bear with us. Somebody's communicating to Nigerians, but no, Nigerians just keep mum and say, let them get it, that's of nothing. That's what we don't want.
Excuse me. You have a major policy that you have decided is the best policy in the world? Fine. You went on holiday for 1 month. Who does that? You didn't even stay on top of this policy. to make sure that they were transferring money into the banks. You went on holiday and they did not transfer the money. The politicians that you say are protecting, the money is in their hands. Go and meet all of them. All of them have the money. They have the money. We don't have the money.
The National Assembly who summoned him have the cash now. So they are not. National Assembly is no longer summoning him. What is the committee that summoned him before?
He's independent.
They are not hearing us again. They've not summoned him recently to ask him how is this policy affecting us. You know the one that is paying me. On all those bank apps, especially this one that have orange on their head, go there, you will see your customer care, your account officer's number.
Yes.
Call the number.
My own works. My own works.
But call the number.
My own works.
My own works. In that orange bank.
My own works.
My own doesn't work.
My own orange bank, it works.
It doesn't work.
But let's talk about what
I can
YK
bet.
said.
I want to that point.
Sixth time I'm
Let me
having
take
an
this
issue.
call.
I'm calling that
They
number.
spend dollars.
Why
Why
you
not
not
spend dollars?
Let me
spend
take
dollars.
this
There's no
call.
dollar in the market.
Let me take our call, please. Good morning. Are you there?
It will not work.
Oh, sugar, I lost that call.
YK
I'm
made
so
a
sorry.
very huge point.
Oh, he's
on
there.
leadership.
Anyway, Koduro, wait. Hello, you there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good morning, sir.
Agree with
Mr.
panel.
TSB Boba. Hello, sir. You're live.
I'm calling for Waria.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I just my contribution. You don't learn left. You don't be a left writer at old age. Can you hear me, sir?
It's not very clear, but please go ahead.
You can't use left when you are already aged. You would want to use left. This policy, you don't give deadline for it. We are not saying redesign. We recolor the naira. Yes. I just make a transaction now, and it's in reverse. I go somewhere to pick a material again. It's in reverse in 2 stores now for me to work. There's a project I'm carrying out for me to work 2 products. So the environment is not conducive in Nigeria factor for such policy.
Just reiterating.
The environment is not conducive at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So
yes, talk what you're going to
back to what YK said, and which totally tallies with what you said, leadership. You cannot be making a huge policy change and you are not on top of the game. Or you are seen not to be on top of the game. Yeah. Because it's not even about just the fact that you feel there's a system that is working, but perception is even more important than the reality. Yeah. And the perception that you are not around makes people feel like anything can go on. And the CBN governor was changing our lives in absentia, and it wasn't even in the country vacationing, it was after the country vacationing. So I think that it's important, and we've given our leaders a lot of liberty to just do whatever. You know, we will have crises. The National Assembly will say that they are on recess. And there's something wrong in the country. You cannot cancel the recess. Everybody has gone on vacation. You are responsible for the people. You are here to serve the people. The CBN governor, however, is not accountable to the House of Assembly. So the National Assembly cannot even hold him, but we can. And it might not be in the formal way, but we have a responsibility to call him out and make him know that pay attention to what we're saying. You're here to serve us. Your policies, if it does not affect us positively, we are going to continue to complain, and that's not what you want.
Was right. He had no business traveling anywhere.
At all.
You should have been here to monitor the continuous change, because it's a huge change.
It's a huge change.
Well, let's take a few comments on social media before we run off.
I just wanted to say that, you know, in leadership, taking decisions, making policies, you are doing it for people. You must not do it to cause hardship for the same people. If whatever you're doing is supposed to protect us, limit cash in the system, ensure that there are not illegal transactions happening, shaping at these people that you are doing it for, the people are now calling out for you to do something miraculous to help them in this hardship, to ensure that their businesses don't shut down, to allow ease. Can you assess that system, that policy that you're putting on ground, and see a way to do it perfectly so that you don't create problems or punish people with it? This is not a punitive measure.
Comments on social media.
I want to take 3. And Anima and Messrs. Antitope, the rich and the rich and the politicians already have the new notes in their houses. Don't let them fool us. Now people like us no get them. True. And now, this stupid policy was copied from India and it didn't work there. Are you not supposed to copy a successful policy? Madness everywhere. Then he says, even if CBN educates people, what they're doing isn't practical. You mentioned trade fair. Other markets too. Our people buy and sell in cash. Withdrawing cash from circulation overnight can tank the economy and cause social unrest.
He says, Orange Bank, calling those ones for anything these days is like pouring water into a basket. Account officer, which account officer? Mazi Okeke says, please. Okay. Andrew says...
I don't think anybody has this picture. Wake up in the morning. Okay, so we all don't have cash, right? Because they told us to put our cash in the bank. So now this is a new week. It's the first day of February. I know I need cash. So I go to the ATM, just like all of you are going to the ATM. Have you thought about the lines for us one by one? And the maximum is 20,000 naira because in the week I can only take 100,000, correct?
They don't want you to collect cash. They want you to do transactions online.
No, I was still by Yaoni Pepe. I still have to collect.
Don't think about it. Go and see it now.
I want to buy because I always have, even in my own house here, I have small house cash. Once go and buy onions are almost finished, man. Let's go and buy onions. Pepper has finished. Let's go buy pepper down the street. We have that. That's 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira. Am I going to be using ATM for that again?
I have not used my eye to see the 200 naira. I only saw the 500 naira last week. I haven't used my eye to see the 200 naira. Please, has anybody here seen the 200 naira? I buy newspaper. Newspaper is 200 naira.
Our purchasing power has ensured that you must do some daily purchases. The way it is, you cannot go and use muscle to buy everything. Is it the small woman that will sell yam down the street that wants me to be doing transfer? To which account? So that they will remove charges on top. If you want to pay her 3,000 naira, she wants to receive her 3,000 naira. Except I want to put 500 naira to cover all bank charges. She will not listen to me. Of course, it's going to make price of things more expensive.
We have to wrap up.
We need these think tanks to stop thinking in the elites. They should sit down and think like normal Nigerians.
Is it 11 already?
It's almost 5. We have to take a few comments on social media so we can wrap up. Many more comments you have, Nima?
Festus Akiboyewa says, we must not forget that the money in circulation is over 50 trillion naira and cash is less than 5%. Why are you making a mountain out of a molehill? He also says the economy of a huge country like Nigeria is not built on the people who keep money at home and refuse to embrace change. The CBN has their objectives, and if they achieve over 80% of their objective, it will be great for Nigeria and Nigerians.
I think Nigerians have agreed that it's a good policy. We're just saying that the timing is wrong. It's too short. They need to review the policy.
Yes,
they need to review the timing. The process should be properly watched over and monitored to ensure success across the nation. I think 80% success, yes, is a good thing. Any other comments?
Abelson says, the fact is, assuming CBN pump out the new notes in excessive, no one would like to keep the old notes. If you enter 99.8% banks in Lagos today, you withdraw 20 to 100K, their cashier will hardly add 200 naira, 2,000 naira new note to that money.
Could it be that somebody who has 10 million naira, for example, CBN wants that person to bring the money first? When you deposit it first, then the collecting is small. So because if I just replace the entire 10 million, then it defeats the entire purpose.
That's exactly the purpose.
How many people have 10 million?
But the thing is, when you go to the bank, you want to use your money and you're unable to use your money. So that already is on ground right now with dollars. You want to collect you deposited dollars in cash and you want to collect and they say they don't have. You deposit pounds in cash. You go to the bank, they say, give us 24 hours, 48 hours to go and collect your money. So that already, when you watch movies about what's happening in Cuba, what's happening in Venezuela, people have money in their banks. They cannot collect. You have money, but you don't have the money because the money is under somebody else's control. For me, there's a good side and there's a bad side. Let's not even go into the bad side. Let's just help the government. Let's even see this good side and beg you to
perfect it.
Perfect this good side so that we can all benefit from the good you have in mind.
Richard Chukwu says we have good policies. We have good policies, but we have poor policy managers. Just yesterday, ATM is still dispensing old notes. We have good policies, but we have poor policy managers.
We have to wrap up. But
truth is true. Says, now, wow, your shout has woken up a baby.
It's like a shout. All right, but I think we have to wrap up. But I mean, I think you have a few things. We need you to extend the date. We need you to put more new cash in the system, more than you've done so far. We need you to collect mutilated notes. For me especially, 15,000 naira. Should I put in the dustbin? I don't know what they want me to do with that 15,000 naira. It's right there. It's right there.
Person you dash money, you should have given that person.
That's not the way they do gifts.
But please, Governor Godwin Emefiele, you have Emefiele us.
We have
Emefiele. We're now asking, but please answer our questions. That's all we can take onto this show. Hopefully, this gentleman, let me call out his name again, because we tried to reach him out and he's giving us I'm busy. Hopefully he would listen to us. His name is Mr. Osita. Nwani Buyosi. He is the Director of Corporate Communications at the Central Bank of Nigeria. Please, if you know him, tell him that your view really wants to speak to him. We try to reach out to him, and we're not able to speak to him. We need him to come and explain to us how they plan to solve our problems. That is all we can take on today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye for now.